Yes, thank you so much for joining me, Sister Zainab, Sister Tawakkal. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I've started recording this session and we will move on without wasting time. My name is Marifa Molola Otolori and I am the founder of Lola Loves Parenting. Right, a parenting outfit that is designed for parents to provide them with the necessary knowledge, the skills, and the tools to raise wholesome children in this century. Right, I'm so excited today, Alhamdulillah, and I'm excited because, of course, we are launching LLP Community very soon. This is like I said before, this is something that I have nurtured in my heart for a very long time, and I'm bringing this launch to life. I pray that Allah blesses it for us. Right. So, if you are joining us for the first time, kindly share with us that you are joining us for the first time and let us know where you are joining us from. Which part of the world are you joining us from? Right. So, if you're not on the discussion room, kindly join the discussion room because, of course, this is supposed to be a discussion. There are times whereby I want to hear from you and I want to get, get a feedback from you. So you can easily use the community, the discussion room to actually give your feedback, right? And also before you go on, please kindly help us to share this link to other parents in your community. Let them know that we are live on today's Friday Live. Let them know that we are live already. Right, so we'll go on with the session without wasting time. And our topic for today is raising beyond certificates, character, confidence, and creativity. You see this topic? This topic is actually, a topic that I have reserved for the inner circle. But I thought, let's still give this opportunity to parents. Let's give them a glimpse of what the inner circle is going to be. Let them view what it's going to be, right? And that's why I decided, okay, let us share this to the public. Let them also come and benefit from this to catch a glimpse of what the inner circle is going to be, right, in the year 2026. Inshallah, may Allah spare our lives. Right. So yes, certificates are paper. Character is permanent. Confidence gives you audacity, and creativity keep you on top of any game of initiative. I would appreciate if someone can help me put that in the comment section. Certificates are paper. Character is permanent. Confidence gives you audacity, and creativity keep you on top of any game of initiative. Right. I really want to start with that quote because I want us to reminisce. I want us to reflect on that. Think about it. Certificates are just paper. Yes, they are paper. I want to eliminate the word just, right? They are paper, but character is permanent. Character is permanent because when you have it, nothing and no one else will take it away from you. Confidence gives you that audacity. When you are courageous, when you have the confidence to show up, it gives you that audacity to try things, to try new things, to hold task to do things that are awesome. And creativity will definitely keep you on any game of initiative. Think about it, right? So I want you to, this evening, we're going to have a lot of reflection session. I want you to think about your straight A's, right? Think about that excellent results that you got from school some years back, right? Where exactly are we using it today? Yes, while we might have some people who can come out and boast that, yes, it is my certificate that I am using, right? It is my certificate that I am using today. But then how many percent of parents, or yes, how many percent of adults can say that, yes, it is my certificate that I am using today? This is what is bringing to me what I actually, want in life. Let me put it that way. How many people can actually boast about that? Think, where are they today? What exactly are the things that we have done with them today? What are those impactful things that we have done with them today? Think about it. Think about the students we were looking up to back in school then. The students that were always the top of the class, the students that were always having the top, the straight A's and maybe a few B's. Think about the person that had the best WAEC results. Think about the person that had the best JAMB results when you were in school back then. Ask yourself, where are they today? While it is important for us to work towards excellence, to have good results, for our children to have good results, we need to know that that's not the only thing that we need to give to our children. Think about people around us right now who are building empires, who are solving real life problems, who are on top of whatever game that they have right now. Think about it. Is it their results that put them there? Is it their certificate? Is it the certificate they acquired that actually put them there? I want us to think about this out as we go on this evening, right? So like I said, that certificates are ordinary papers. One of the things that we need to know is that while certificates can get people good jobs, while it can put us in a particular room, while it can put us in the midst of people that are, we can say that, okay, yes, these people are doing well, only character and competence will keep those things for us. Only character and competence will keep us to be relevant in that job. Confidence will help them to show what they have, and creativity will help them to thrive. Think about it. So let's now talk about you having that certificate. You have that certificate. Your children have that certificate. You've always been in that place whereby you are always saying you have to get A's, you have to do this, you have to do that. And you use everything that you have, both negative and positive, to do the things that you are not supposed to do to your children. Just because you want them to have straight A's, just because you want them to come up top of their class. Now think about it. After the result, your child does not have the character to keep them in that room. Your child does not have that creativity. Your child does not have that courage to carry on new things, to solve problems. What is the use of that certificate at the end of the day? Right. And like I said, this is not to say that school is a scam. No, we're not saying school is a scam. As a matter of fact, we're not a part of those people who say that school is a scam. But this is to wake us up as parents that if the only thing that we pay attention to is the education that is given in school, if the only thing that we pay attention to is the straight A's that our children want to get, then we have missed it. If that is all that we pay attention to, then we are doing our children a big disservice, a big one at that. I always tell people that if you want to think about intentionally raising your children, if you want to think about purposefully raising your children, just reflect on your own upbringing. Reflect on what you have today. Reflect on the things you are aiming to have today. Can your certificate actually give it to you? That's the question I want us to take home today, right? So if we really want our children to get that share of this word, I shared it that, in Surah Al-Qasas, verse 28, verse 77, Allah says that we should strive for Jannah. However, we have a share of this word. If you actually want our children to get that share, and if we also want to get that share of this word in a genuine way, in an halal way, then we need to really give them the education that school will not give them. This is something we need to know. A school will actually give your children the skills to pass exams, maybe. A madrasa will give your children, memorization of the Quran. But the question is, will they be able to give your children the meaning of whatever it is that they have memorized? Will the school be able to give your children the life skills that they actually need to thrive in life? That's the question we want to start asking, right? So we want to bring ourselves to the awareness that it's not just about the school. It is about education. And we need to also know, I've always said it on this platform, that schooling is not the same thing as education. If we're still in that place where we feel that schooling is the same thing as education, then we have missed it already. Schooling is different, education is different. Schooling is just a formal, platform or a formal place where we can get a part of education, where our children can get educated, but then they can't give them all that they need to thrive, in this 21st century. So we have people who went to school but are not really educated. That's just the truth. And have you been in a state or in a situation whereby you are thinking about it? Somebody does something, or somebody is unable to do something, very minute, something you see as, it's just a piece of cake, or they act in a certain way. And you say something like, but you said you went to school. And you went to school. Have you been in that situation? Share with me in the comment section if you've been there before, if you've seen someone like that before, right? That is to tell you that for the fact that people went to school does not necessarily mean that they are educated. It's not the same thing. Schooling is not the same thing as education. So we really need to educate our children if you actually want them to thrive in life, right? So the truth about it is that we live in a world where, parents become very proud of their children, especially when they have, the best results. They're between the first to third in their class and all of those things. They make straight A's. They are awarded for doing well in school, for doing well. When I say doing well, not character-wise. Maybe they are doing well in academics, best in maths, best in English, best in chemistry, and things like that. But in a situation whereby, there's something that is not going on well in their life, they keep quiet about it. They resort to fate. They see it as, that's how it's supposed to be. That's destiny. That's how it's supposed to be. Maybe they are failing with their relationship with their spouse. They are failing with their relationship with their colleagues at work. They are unable to lead people the way they should live, even if they have the resources to do it. They are unable to, they are unable to sustain their marriage because of lack of some skills. We resort to, it's just that that's how Allah has written that it's going to be, without even trying to get whatever it is that we want to get. That's the sad reality that we have now. So we have parents that are actually applauding results and all of those things. But when life challenges come, we see it as, it's just fate. It's just this, it's just that. You see, like I like to tell people, and this is something that I know, and this is one of the feedbacks that I got over the week. I get lots of feedbacks, right? And the person was actually sharing with me that, okay, I go through, all of your written content and all of those things. And if actually we are in that space whereby we carry out all of these things, the world will actually be a better place. And that is the truth. If everyone in every household is trying as much as possible to raise children with integrity, with the right values and all of those things, then the world is actually going to become a better place. And this is something we need to strive towards. This is something that is very important, right? So we should not just resort to, it's just a problem. If the education that our children are having, if they can't solve real life problems with it, if they can't even solve personal problem with it, any little thing they are down, any little thing they are overwhelmed, any little thing, I cannot do it again, any little failure, they can't continue, then that's not actually education, because that education has not prepared children for life, for the real world, right? So these are some of the conversations we'll have, in the community. Like I was saying, this is, like I said from the beginning, that this particular topic, for those who are just joining us, we're talking about raising beyond certificate, character, confidence, and creativity. This is just a glimpse of what the community is going to bring to us. This is just like a tiny bit of it. Like I said, it's supposed to be an inner circle topic next year, inshallah. But then I just thought, let's still teach it to people. Let people know. Let them come to the awareness that all of these things matter, right? So a lot of the time we find ourselves in this situation because certificates that we run after, it can't speak for us in face of real life challenges. That is the truth. Those certificates, like I said before, we are not saying school is calm. It's far from it. But then we need to know that certificate that we spend our water and our blood, everything chasing for our children, they cannot actually save us in the face of real life challenges. And this is something that we can relate to very well. If there's anyone who is trying to build something, if there's anyone who is trying to do something for themselves, if there's anyone who is trying to impact the world through whatever it is that they do, you will know that the things that we go through, maybe if we look thoroughly, would say that, okay, yes, this thing that I learned in school, that was given to me in school, is helping me now, but it's just a few of it, right? So raising children beyond certificate is raising them to be able to read the room, to be able to deal with people well without losing themselves, to be able to adapt to new environments, to be able to build beautiful connections that last. That is what it means, raising children beyond the certificate, raising children that have character, raising children that you can say that, yes, this child is well trained, this child is well raised, without losing themselves. It's about raising children who can influence people without manipulating them, who can influence people without manipulating them, who can lead with empathy. Look at the whole of the leaders that we have these days. Look at them. It's nothing to write home about. Who can lead with empathy and not with arrogance? Who can actually humble themselves in places where they should humble themselves, because this is something that is necessary. All of these are not just, they're not just innate. It's not just a gift. It's not something that a child comes with. It is something that needs to be nurtured intentionally in our children, because if we do not nurture it, we'll just definitely raise another set of children and that become adults that do not have empathy. They feel that, being in that position of leadership is everything that they want. Having money is everything, and they misuse every resources and every opportunity that is given to them. That's another set of people that we're going to raise. And this is why it is important for us to uphold all of these things and raise children beyond them just owning a certificate. Children who will thrive tomorrow are not just children with the best certificate. This is something that we already know. I said it before that this is going to be a reflection class for everyone. We want to think about it. Think about that certificate. What exactly are we doing with it right now? What doors is opening for us with it? We want to think about all of these things. So the children that are going to thrive tomorrow are not the children that have the best certificate, but children who are emotionally intelligent, children who are socially intelligent, and who have the most influence, and most importantly, a good connection. When we say a good connection, I know that, in the Nigerian parlance, we tend to see connection as something that, any connection, something like that. And we feel that having connection is just about, just knowing people and finding your way. No, we're talking about connection that you really worked for. We're talking connection that you were able to build because of your ability to relate well with people. Not connection of, I know this person in the ministry because of that. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about connection that we're able to build because of the skills that we have. The skills of being able to relate with people. The skills of emotional intelligence. The skills of being able to undo conflict resolution. The skills of being able to negotiate without manipulating, without being in a place whereby you're manipulating people. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I mean by children who are emotionally intelligent, who are socially intelligent, who have the most influence, and most importantly, a good connection with people. So today we'll be talking about nurturing children who can thrive beyond certificate, like you said, like you said before. And we're going to pick the points one after the other of the things that we need to look into, and we're going to discuss it. So the question today is, will your child have the character to keep them in a room? Like we said from the beginning, that character that, certificate will actually put you in a room, but your character will make you remain in that room or, pull you out of that room. So will your child be able to have that character to keep them in that room that their certificate get them into? Will they have the courage to confidently recommend themselves, to say that, yes, this is what I do, and this is how I do it? Will they have that courage? Or have you even killed that courage in the name of discipline? Have you killed that confidence in them in the name of discipline, quote and unquote? Right? Will they have that creativity to take meaningful initiatives? These are the questions I want us to put down this evening, go and ponder on, and start working towards giving our children all of these things, because they really matter. Right? So thriving in life requires skills. It requires value and principles, and it also requires the right mindset. So if you don't have the right mindset, if you always have this negative mindset of, no, whatever it is that I do is not always right, or I don't do it well, or this, it's going to be difficult. So it's about having skills. It's about having values. It's about having the principles that is required for us. And the mindset, the positive mindset to say, yes, I'm going to push through this. Yes, failure might come, but I'll keep pushing. Because if you actually look at the people that are building something today, if you actually look at people that are doing, amazing things today, they have failed many times, but they decided not to quit. So are you raising children who have that same mindset? Right? Those things that school cannot teach. So we need to know that parenting in this day and age must go beyond just academic success. It must go beyond just having that certificate. I said it last week that if we're still on that table where we're telling our children, just go and study anything in school, then we have missed it. We have not gotten it. We have missed it already. This is something that is very important. So what are the things that you need to start putting in place for us to actually, raise children beyond, certificate? You know that we'll bring out the problems and we'll definitely prefer solutions. And it is now left to all of us to actually put whatever it is that we have learned into, practice, implement, and get results, right? So the first thing that you need to do is that you need to raise children who are emotionally intelligent. I've been saying it from the beginning of this year, that emotional intelligence is not something that we can just say that it doesn't matter, because it does matter 1,000,001 times. So we need to start focusing on emotional quotient over intelligent quotient. It's not just about the ability to cram something and pour it down and get a 1A. No, that's not what emotional intelligence is. You must raise children who are able to recognize, who are able to validate, who are able to express their emotions. Children will show empathy and not just sympathy. They are two different things. Empathy is different from sympathy. Right? You need to know that for you to actually build anything, you need to have empathy and not just sympathy. Because empathy is what elevates you, and sympathy is all about feelings and pity. So, for example, now, when people are asked, how exactly do they allow their children to show empathy, right, to other people, or even, people around them? They say things like, we take them to the motherless baby home, we do this, we do that, and all of those things. We need to know that that is not teaching children empathy. That is sympathy. Sympathy is just you pitying somebody, but then you can't put yourself in their shoes. You don't understand how to put yourself in their shoes. Yes, it's compassion, but then empathy is actually putting yourself in their shoes, feeling together with them. So sympathy is passive. Empathy is active. It is you putting yourself in other people's shoes. But then how can we teach empathy when we always see when our children are not having a good time? Maybe they are throwing a tantrum, they are grumbling about something, and all of those things. How do we teach empathy when we do not even put ourselves in their shoes? We feel that once we give that command, they should just follow it, forgetting that we are human beings and they are human beings also. How do we teach empathy when they are trying to tell us, their view of something, and we feel that, no, it is either my way or the highway? So we want to think of these things. It might just be that it is what we are doing with our children that is taking away that ability to learn emotional intelligence away from them. So we want to think about it. So it's just you pitying people. That's sympathy. But empathy is putting yourself in other people's shoes, being able to say that, okay, yes, I know that this is how you feel. However, things has to be done. This is how it's supposed to be done. Right? So it's putting yourself in other people's shoe, looking at things from other people's perspective. This past few days, I was trying to get someone who, get somebody on LLP board who is going to, who we are going to run the affairs of, LLP together. And after the interview and with her and some other people, then I was waiting to make sure that I interview every candidate, and of course we choose the best person who will understand what the assignment is. Then I received a message from one of the candidates saying that whatever it is that the decision is, they need to know because they want to be able to make decision if they should move on or if they should stay, something like that. Then I responded to the person. I said, because I've worked in the HR before, so I know what it is. I told the person that I'm not one who interview people and leave them hanging. I know this is not something that is common, but I understand empathy. I understand what it feels to wait for somebody, to wait for a job that you've had that interview. I understand what it means for them to call you back or not call you back. But a lot of the time, what happens is that companies are just quiet. They're just quiet about it. So they're not bringing this person on board. They're not employing this person, but they just keep quiet. So I told her I'm not one of them. I made sure that I go back and I sent, messages to every participant, even if I am not going to be bringing them on board. And I sent a message to her. Alhamdulillah, she was, it was something that I could say that, okay, we don't do that here. Because we understand putting ourselves into other people's shoes. We understand putting ourselves in other people's shoes so that we know, of course, if I'm not going to be bringing you on board, I need to let you know so that you can adventure, look at other people, look at other openings and go for it. Know that, okay, yes, they are not calling me. But when I leave you hanging, I'm also thinking, I can't just leave you hanging. And I told the person at LLP, empathy is core for us. And in parenting, empathy is core. If you're in that place whereby you cannot empathize with other people, you will definitely, you will have problems with your children. A lot of the time, we just want magic to happen. The things that we complain about as children while we were growing up, washing plates, doing all of those things, our children do the same thing. And we make you feel like, no, you just want to be disrespectful. You just want to be irresponsible. We don't know how to put ourselves in their shoes. We don't know how to influence them. This is something that we want to look into. Right? So you need to teach your children how to empathize, how to manage and control their emotions. You need to model, I saw a post, some days back, a few days back, where somebody said that, the ability to actually ignore your mood and stick to the plan is a skill. Yes, it is a skill, and it's under emotional intelligence. You being able to understand that, okay, yes, it is not, there was a quote that I saw, some years back, and it says that what happens to you is 10%. How you deal with that thing is actually the 90%. Yes, because things will happen. Plans will not go as you have planned it. But your ability to say that, okay, yes, let's do it this way, ignoring your feelings. Yes, your feeling will be there, it will come. But being emotionally intelligent is you saying that, okay, yes, this is the plan, we have to stick to it. This is something that is learned. If all that you pay attention to is for your child to be able to make their results, and you're not focusing on other things that will help them in life, you are doing them a disservice. So you need to teach your children how to empathize, how to manage and control their emotion. You need to model and teach conflict resolution. You need to model and teach self-regulation, negotiation skills. It's about skills. It's about the skills that you teach to your children that the school will not teach to them. It is either they learn it from you at home, or they learn in a hard way when they grow. Because there are some things, there are little failures that will teach children so many things than when they grow into adults and there's this big failure that weighs them down completely. But if they've been used to, okay, when you fail, you pick yourself up again and you continue. Dealing with failures as they come, even as adults, is not something that will be strange to them. Because they understand that you have to keep striving, you have to keep going irrespective, as far as you are breathing. So these are the things we want to teach to our children. So many researchers have shown that emotional quotient and social quotient predicts life more than intelligent quotient. This is something that we have shared a lot of time. If a child or if one is not emotionally intelligent, it's going to be a problem, because you have problem with almost everybody. You will not be able to keep relationship with anyone, friends, family, colleagues at work. You even have problem in your marital life. This is something that is, this is something that is affecting a lot of people right now. Right. So this is something we want to look into. So teaching empathy to your children means that they are able to step into other people's shoes, like I said, and feel with them. So in parenting, sympathy comforts. Yes, it will comfort your child, but then empathy transforms. Empathy will help you transform your child from that child who doesn't even want to listen to you at all to one who listens to you and reasons with you. So it is time for your child to watch plate, and you're not in that place. If you don't watch it now, you are able to say that, yes, sometimes I don't even feel like going to work as an adult. But then, my dear, we have to stick to the plan. Right? So you can just rest a little bit, maybe 5-10 minutes, then go and do those dishes. Your child will understand the fact that, okay, mommy is even trying to let me know that, yes, it's not easy. She's validating my feelings rather than just fight. So this is something we want to look into. This is something we want to think about, right? So, like I was saying that, sympathy would, it will just comfort your child, but empathy will transform your child, right? A child who is a genius and their feelings and they feel what they feel. When there is a conflict, help your child to reflect about it and how it can be managed. This is something you want to teach your child. Of course, there will be conflict. Conflict is not something we want to do away with. It's not something, I've lived here in KSA for some years now. And I can tell you that it's not as if there's this hard work, like there's this hard work back in Nigeria. This is something I can say because I've lived in the two places. I might not have the opportunity to explore the whole of KSA, but then this is something I can say. Before you see them complain about situations, before you see them, fight, you won't even see it. As a matter of fact, sometimes early this year, while I was going to work with a colleague, and a car got hit by another person, right? And to my surprise, because this is not what I have been used to all my life, they just got down. There's usually, a particular government agency that they call to come and see who is at fault, who is not at fault, and, share whatever it is. You are taking 50%, or you are taking 60%, 40%, and everything is going to be peaceful like that. I was surprised because I was like, oh my God. So really, this can happen. I know where I came from. I know the amount of beating and fighting and everything that would have happened. So this type of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is you being calm in face of chaos. It is you being calm in cases of crisis. Because of course, being everywhere is not going to solve the problem. So if you cannot model that to your children, how can your child learn that? These are the questions we want to start asking ourselves. So ask your child daily about how they feel. What exactly do you feel? So your child has come back from school, or they will soon be back from school. I don't know, and what you're asking your child is, and how are you? How was school today? No. You want to ask your child, for you to raise children who are emotionally intelligent, like I said, you have to be deliberate. So you want to ask, what part of your day made you happy? What part of your day made you scared? What part of your day made you sad? So they want to be in that place whereby they are thinking about it. They understand their emotions. They are able to communicate it with you. So it's something that is deliberate. It's not just, it's not just something that jumps on children. It doesn't. Especially if you have parents who are still not able to control their emotions. If you're in that place whereby you can control your emotion, your children can learn from you. You can model it to them. But if you are still struggling with it also, you have to be deliberate about it. Working on yourself and making sure that you are modeling the right things to your children. So you want to ask yourself all of this question. Right? So emotional intelligence puts you in a place of peace, even in crisis, like I said. It puts you in a place of tranquility, even in chaos. It is to be learned. This is something that is learned. It doesn't just jump on one. And this is something that we're going to be big on, of course, in the community. This is something we're going to be big on. This is something we're going to have daily tools on that will help us to understand how to navigate all of these things. Like we know, the prophet, peace be upon him, he said that the most powerful is not the one who can wrestle his opponent to the floor, but the one who can control his anger whenever it is that he's angry. This is something we want to look at. We have this beautiful example, but it's so saddening that we just pick those ones that align with us and we leave other things. We have the prophets who was excellent. We had this model. We have it. So we want to look at it. We want to try as much as possible to imbibe whatever it is that he has taught. So think about it. When your children are going through conflict and they are screaming, or they're having this conflict with their siblings, or something is not going their way, they're trying to do their homework and they're doing, children can be, they can be somehow. They'll just, oh, I'm doing this. And you are also in that place whereby you're also shouting whenever it is things are not going your way. So you want to think about it. Ask yourself, where is the responsible adult in me? When you're in that place whereby things are not going right, your child is not listening, or your children are not listening, or something is going on, and you're all over the place, you're shouting. I want you to sit down and ask yourself, where is the responsible adult in me? It's simply that your child lacks a skill as a child, and that he or she is. And you also lack that skill as an adult. And that's why your child is throwing tantrum and you are also throwing tantrums. This is something you want to think about. Your child is throwing tantrum and you are also throwing tantrum because you do not have that skill of emotional intelligence. You do not have that skill to control your emotions, even when things are not going right, even when things are not going well. Knowing that it is from clarity, that is where you can actually get to solve this problem. So what you are doing is that you are robbing your child of the good things that should learn from you. That's exactly what you are doing. You are robbing your child of the good things that they should learn from you. There's something that needs to be done differently. As parents, I want us to think about it. So it's not just about, go to school. It starts from the home. What are you modeling? What are you modeling as a parent? Right. So instead of asking your child, how was your day today? Like I said, you want to explore questions. What part of your day made you happy today? What part of your day made you sad? A lot of these things, there are times that we forget it. We know them, but we forget it. And that's the power of a community. That's the power of being in a place where you are being reminded about it. It's being spoken about until it becomes a part of you. Yes, these things you can feel like, a lot of the time our irresponsibility can want to make us say that, no, that's just who I am. That's just who I am. But it's not true. That's not how you were. That's how you were raised to be. But alhamdulillah, the neuroplasticity is there. That ability to actually rewire those things is there. So why wouldn't you take that opportunity to actually rewire yourself so that you become that best model to your children? I made a quote some times back. I said that, parenting should not bring the worst out of you. Parenting should actually bring the best out of you because you are a model to your children. I like to tell people that your children were not given to you damaged. They were not given to you damaged. It is your environment that actually makes them into whatever it is that they become. So you want to think about it. Please tell me, are you getting value from this session? Everywhere is quiet. Let me hear. Or is everybody just taking their own out of all of what I'm talking about? Yes, please share with me in the comment section. Are you getting value? If you are getting value, don't just keep this to yourself. Share with other parents in your, on your WhatsApp status, on your Facebook status. Let them also come and benefit from this. But then before we go on, I need to hear from you. Are you getting value? Is this conversation, is it resonating with you? Are you getting anything out of it? Let me read from you, please. Right, let me read from you. Okay, so much value. Yes, so much value. Let me hear from you. We have about how many people on this call right now? Yeah, we have about 15 people. Yes, you are getting value, alhamdulillah. So please don't keep this to yourself. Share it on your WhatsApp status. By the time I check my WhatsApp status, let me see your name up because of what you have shared. There's a way WhatsApp will help me to know that. So please kindly share with other parents. Let them also come and benefit from this. If you are getting value, why should you keep it to yourself? It's free, right? Right. Thank you for sharing, Miss Idaya. So let's continue with this session. Let's continue. It is value loaded, alhamdulillah. So let's go on. The second thing we want to talk about is social skills and survival skills. Your child's ability to relate with people will outlast their ability to calculate any form of math. Who will help us to put that in the comment section? I'll say it again and again. Your child's ability to relate with people will outlast their ability to calculate any form of math. This is something that we know. Your child's ability to relate with people will outlast their ability to calculate any form of math. Think about the simultaneous equation that you did years back. How are you using it in your life right now? All of these things, what I've studied about the curriculum and what I have known about it is just to help children, especially maths, to help them to think. And why are they thinking? Thinking to solve human problem. That's exactly what that thing is. But we are the one that have taken it as something that is just done to pass examinations. Thank you. Your child's ability to relate with people without smart, yes, it's going to outlast their ability to calculate any form of mathematics. How many calculation are you still able to use up till date? If there's any mathematics that you are able to use, for me, I'm able to use mathematics because I am teaching my students. But think about it if you are not a teacher, or maybe you are helping your children. Think about it. How has it contributed to your own, for you to thrive? How has it contributed to it? You want to ask yourself. How many simultaneous equations are you able to solve, with your real life challenges? Thank you, Mr. Workout. So the most successful people are not always the smartest. They are the ones who can connect, who can communicate, and who can collaborate. I would appreciate if someone can help people that in the comment section. The most successful people are not always the smartest. They are the ones who can connect, who can communicate, and who can collaborate. The 3 C's, those are the 3 C's of success. your ability to connect, your ability to communicate, and your ability to collaborate. You see, we're in this part of the world whereby we're not evolving as things are evolving. Right now, as a classroom teacher in KSA, our children don't sit like the way they usually sit. And I think for some international schools back home too, it's the same thing. They sit in groups of 4, groups of 5, depending on the number of students in that class. They sit in groups. And the way the curriculum is designed, the way we're able to teach them is that it's not just about you teaching. You are able to give them something that they can work together as a team. You are able to give them something that they are able to work together as a team. So it's not just about you. That is to let you know that the world is evolving. And if we are not evolving as the world is evolving, it's a problem. And that's why parents, we need to be on top of our games. This is something that is very important. Thank you, Miss Rafiat, Miss Hidayah, thank you. Your ability to connect, your ability to communicate, and your ability to collaborate. The 3 C's of success. So, degree will open door. Yes, degrees, PhD, MSc, BSc, they will open door for you. But relationship will keep them open. Relationship will keep them open. This is something that I have experienced firsthand. You know, when I worked back at home, I worked in just one place. I served there and I was retained, and you know, I kept working there for 6 years before I came here, right? You know, like I said, that I was in the human resources department, and I can tell you for a fact that my boss not just messages me today, he calls me for, you know, for programs and all of those things today. And the one that really pricks my heart, that is so dear to me, is that he remembers my child, my first child, the one that I gave birth to there as my first child. He remembers his birthday, that he will send pictures, he will send prayers. So yes, my degree opened that door for me to teach in that place. But then the way I related with people there, my relationship with people there is something that actually helps me, and is still helping me, even with the fact that I am not there. I don't know, for those who follow me very well on my WhatsApp status, a student of mine was sharing, her experience with me. And she was telling me that, Mrs. Shakirullah, that's how they call me, Mrs. Shakirullah, all those things that you usually tell us back then. I'm just understanding it right now. I'm so sorry that I didn't listen to you back then. I'm so sorry that I didn't. In fact, I was asking people for your numbers before I came across your page, and I needed to say this. That is what it means when you build the right kind of relationship. So definitely that degree will open that door for that child. But what character does that child have to actually keep that child there? It is something we need to ponder about. So degrees will open door, but relationship will keep them open. Are you helping understand how things work? Are you helping your child to understand how things work? Or the only thing that you're doing is how your child is just going to pass? We overthink all of these things to the extent that we buy special centers for children just because we want them to pass exams. So are you teaching your children the things that matter, or you are just teaching them to pass examinations? Think about it. Teach your children how to connect with people, how to introduce themselves. It starts from the very little things. Your child is on the playground. You can't tell your child, now, those that are on the playground, you have to talk to them, meet with them, play with them. Your child is 7, is 8-year-old, is sick here. You have taken him or her to the hospital. You can't allow your child to say that, okay, yes, this is how I am feeling. I have headache here. You are the one doing the whole of the explanation, robbing your children of the things that they should be able to do on their own. Robbing them the things that should make them independent of you. I like to tell people that, think about it. The way you are raising your children today, if you die today, what exactly is going to be the gain of those children? What exactly would they be able to say that, yes, I took this from my mom and I'm so glad that she taught me this? Think about it. Allow them to talk. Allow them to introduce themselves. Allow them to be in that place whereby they have that confidence. They have that courage. And you're not just silencing them. You're not just in that place where you're saying, keep quiet. It's not your thing. Who called you here? Those phrases. We want to think about all of these things deeply. How do you allow them to relate with people? What opportunity do you give them to actually talk? You see, I was saying that I'll share with some people that, the inner circle that is coming, that we're about to launch, we're going to have daily tools, daily tools. And when I say daily tools, I mean daily tools, inshallah, that we're going to share with parents. They are not just tools, but they are things to actually raise our children to have all of these skills. And it is something that is doable. This is something that I know. It is something that is doable. So please, as soon as we launch the community, try as much as possible to be a part of it. Be a pioneering part of something that is going to outlast all of us. It is something that is important, because what you are going to be going away with is nothing compared to what you are going to be paying. This one I can guarantee, inshallah. Right? So we want to think about all of these things. So don't raise people who can't be helped. Don't just raise children that can't even help themselves, because they can't even talk. Because you have always been in that place whereby you have criticized, you have told them to keep quiet, not knowing that these are the things that really matter. So if you need help, please seek help. It's not your child that is the problem. It is not your child. Think about it. Expose your children. Expose them to good things. Take them to the market. Let them buy things from different people. Let them talk. When they are able to buy, it's not just about them buying. You are going to the market, let them make a list. I was telling my colleague that we share, the house with, I was sharing with him just this evening. I went to the market yesterday. I went to the supermarket and I forgot to buy something. And when I came back this evening, I remember that I didn't buy that. And I was thinking that, oh my God, if, I had access to my son, he would have been able, he's the one that always makes the list whenever it is that, we're going out, that he would have been able to make this list. And, I will not forget anything. I was sharing this and he was like, oh, really? He does that? I said, yes, he does it. It starts from the little things. Allow them. Let them explore. If they go to the market to buy something, they are not just learning how to buy something. They are learning how to negotiate. They are learning how to interact with real people and not just cartoons, not just people on the screen. This is something we want to think about. It helps them to build confidence. They build confidence from there. So it is something that we have always said, that confidence is built from competence. When a child has that competence, that child will have confidence. Your child can only be competent after they've tried new things, either failing at that thing. When they try again, it's going to be better. Or they even do well at that thing. This is something that is very important. Let us be in that place whereby, while I was preparing for this session, I stumbled on, on the story of Zaid bin Harith, who the Prophet, peace be upon him, raised. And, he raised this child to the extent that he was able to raise this child to the extent that when the family of Zaid bin Harith came for him, he said that he's not going with them. He would rather stay with the Prophet, because he has never seen someone who loves him genuinely, who treats him with kindness and every other good character than the Prophet. Think about it. If your child should go and live with some other people today, and they are able to treat that child better than you treat that child, will that child say that I want to go home, or I just want to stay here? I just want us to go and think about it. So we want to be in that place whereby we build social skills with our children. It's about character, the character that we live in them. The third one is that you need to build problem solvers and not perfectionists. Who is going to help us write that? Build problem solvers and not perfectionists. Problems do not demand answers from certificates. No, it doesn't. Problems do not demand answers from certificates. They demand solutions, real life solutions. So you want to raise problem solvers. You need to explore curiosity. So curiosity, if you actually want to raise children that are actually going to solve problems, not just that the ones that are running after perfectionism, because that is what you request of them. So you need to explore curiosity, experimentation, and resilience. So you don't want to be in that place whereby you are an helicopter parent. who have often said this. Thank you, Miss Hidayah. So don't rush to always fix your children's problem. It's not about the right answers. It's about the right thought. It's about the ability to think, to find yourself, to find your way out of situations that you don't want to become, rather than sulk in it. So exams will reward right answers. Of course, if your child should write an exam and it's being checked and your child have the right answer, exam will reward right answers. But life will reward the right thoughts to solve problems. So exams will definitely reward right answers, but life will reward the right thoughts to actually solve problems. So we want to be in that place whereby we're always we're exercising the brain of our children to think and solve problems. So instead of always fighting your child to finish homework, you have to finish this homework, you have to complete this task and all of that, you want to start asking, How can we fix this minor problem? There's something going on inside the house. Yes, you have a solution to it, but you want to engage your child because you want them to also think. You want to ask them, okay, what do you think we can do now to solve this? What do you think we can do now to put, to find ourselves in this better situation? So it's not just about running helter-skelter to finish homework. Let them be able to fix minor problems. And of course, if you even put the right strategies in place, you will not be in that place whereby you're always running after your children to complete their homework. That's just the truth. So you want to think about it. So you need to raise children who are problem solvers. They will make mistakes. They will fail. They will try new things and wouldn't get it. They will struggle. They will strive. They will do lots of things. But then it is preparing them to actually be able to solve problems. So you don't want to always be in that place whereby you are helicoptering, you are just running after them, any little thing. And instead of you to give them the ability to, the opportunity to actually do something, they make a mistake, you are there, pam, 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 you have beaten that child, you have solved the problem. You are going inside, you have solved the problem. You are not raising them to be skilled. This is something we need to know. The fourth thing that we're going to be talking about is that you need to teach values and integrity. You need to teach values and integrity. A dishonest genius will eventually self-destroy. A dishonest genius will eventually self-destroy. So a child, you raise a child to be a genius, to pass examinations, to have straight A's. But then that child is dishonest. That child does not understand what it means to have integrity, to deal with people in honesty. That child will eventually destroy things. Because that certificate will get that child to that place, but your child will not be honest enough to say yes and mean yes, say no and mean no. So you want to raise a child who can be trusted, not just one who can be tested. Did you get that? You want to raise a child who can be trusted, not just one who can be tested. So integrity, responsibility, and resilience, all of these things outshine any degree. You are loyal. You have that integrity. You have that honesty. You are responsible. You can be held accountable. You are resilient. All of these things outshine any degree. So you want to teach them who they are. This is something that really matters. I tell my children, you are a Shakirullah. You cannot just do things anyhow. This is how you do it. Give them that sense of belonging. Let them know that they belong to a tribe. They belong to a family whereby we don't just do things anyhow. I was sharing this on Saturday with, the parents that I was speaking to. This is something that is very important. Let them know who they are, not just what they have. Because at the end of the day, what they have cannot be collected from, what they are cannot be taken away from them. But what they have that is not something that they can keep can actually be gotten away from them. So you want to think about all of these things. So it is not something that you teach to your children by just saying it. You have to model them and teach them. It's something that you can teach with games. It is something, honesty is something you can teach with games. So you are trying to play a game and your child is trying to, is trying to be corny. It's okay for you to catch that child trying to be corny, trying to cheat, and let them know that winning wrongly is losing twice. Because you lose the game. You know that you lose the game, and you also lose trust with the people that you are playing with. So it is an opportunity to teach. Don't always see mistakes as opportunity to chastise, to punish, to, make those children feel bad because they made mistake. It's an opportunity to teach. If you start seeing it from that perspective and you teach, you keep teaching, there are a lot of things that your children will definitely learn from you. And of course, by also modeling it. Right. So you need to stop setting traps for your children like our parents did. Yes, our parents set trap for us. That child would not know what I would do. Let me get back home and that child has not done this. Let me get back home. We keep setting traps. Our children are not animal. Our children are not animal. They are human beings and we are not hunters either. So we should stop setting trap because if you set trap, definitely, we know how trap works. If a rat should pass by it, yes, that trap is definitely going to catch the trap because your child is still in that process of learning. Even us are still in the process of learning, and that's why we also make mistakes, not to talk of a child who is not even half your age. So you want to be in that place. Don't set traps for your children. Don't always be in that place. If I cut that time, if this child doesn't do this, make it clear the things they need to do. If they don't do it, let them face the consequences. Not just by you being all over the place, because they will not learn from it. They will not concentrate on what they did not do. They will only concentrate on your own anger. This is something that is important. You need to keep guiding your children. Guide them. Teach them. That's why we are called a guide. We are guardians to them. We are guardians to them. We need to actually be in that place whereby we keep guiding them. The fifth one, you need to teach creativity and innovation. We said it that we're raising children beyond certificate, character, confidence, and creativity. We've spoken about character, we've spoken about confidence. Creativity, you need to teach creativity and innovation. Today's world are for children who can imagine solutions that don't exist. They can think about solutions that don't exist. It might even be the ones that exist, but they can enhance. So you don't want to suffocate the creativity of your children with constant rigidity. You don't always want to be in that place whereby it is just, like I said, it is just your way or the highway. You have to do it like this. You are now rigid. Your children do not even have the opportunity to have unstructured play. Allow your children. Don't be in that place whereby you suffocate what they're supposed to create. You suffocate their creativity with your own constant. You're just rigid. You're not even flexible. Your children can't play. They can't explore. They can't do new things. You're always in that place whereby you just want everything to flow just like you want it. So if your children must succeed, they have to play. That's why they are children. And that's why Maria Montessori said that the work of a child is play. So you need to allow them to play. You need to give space for your children to have art activities, to have, innovation, storytelling, and all of those things. All of these things are the things that we're going to capitalize on them because we know how important it is to the growth of our children. So the community is actually there to actually meet all of these things. So you're not just, it's a different thing for you to actually say, yes, I know all of these things. It's a different thing for you to say that, yes, I'm implementing them. Because you will be overwhelmed if you do all of these things alone. This is something, yes, I am a parent coach, but then I belong to an accountability, community. Because I am a parent first before I am a parent coach. I am just doing this. This is extra. Teaching other people what I know that they need. But then I am a parent first. So I have that tribe also that I can say that, yes, because of course, it's not something that should be done alone. It's not something that is supposed to be lonely because it will be tiring. Right. So please save up and be a part of the community. It starts in January. So you can still pay until December before it starts on January. This is something that is very important. Let your children experiment. Let them imagine. Let them create through unstructured play. Let your children play. Right. Boredom sparks innovation and creativity. When you allow your children to be bored, it's going to spark. It sparks invention. They'll be able to innovate. They will be able to, they will be able to create things because they are bored. They will just try from trying. But the question is, we don't even want them to try because we want a clean kitchen. We want a clean house. We want everything to be sparkling clean. But like we always say, parenting is in the mess. Enjoy the mess now. Enjoy it so that you enjoy it later. Stop filling your children's day with, screen, all sorts of screen. Cocomelon, Sissy Rachel, or what's the name of that person? This Spider-Man, Superman, Mashadi, Keniko, the bear, all of those things. Your children are barely learning anything from those things. You might feel that they are learning, but they are just regurgitating whatever information that they are putting in. They are not learning anything from it. That's not what learning is. Screen time actually robs your children of exploration. Let your children explore. Take advantage of the window of opportunity. If you miss the window of opportunity in the name of my child is still small, a lot of the time, like I always share that toddlers parents will be in that place whereby they say, I'm still dealing with toddlers tantrum. Let me just finish with it. Before you know it, your children are growing, but you are not equipped. You're not well equipped with the things that you need to continuously put, because that young age is actually a window of opportunity that once you miss, it is difficult for you to get it back. Yes, we said that the neuroplasticity, has that ability to learn all of those things again, but it is not as easy as when children are still very young for them to learn it. So don't be in that place. Don't be among those people who say, my child is still small. I'm not just doing this. Okay, what's the name? I don't know. Tell me. It's not Sissy Rachel. Is it Auntie Rachel? I don't know. Please tell me. Sincerely, wallahi, I don't know. But I've heard people talk about it, online. This thing, Rachel, and all of these things. Right. So if you haven't missed it, it's something that you might struggle to get back for your children. So don't miss out on the window of opportunity claiming that your children are still young. But them being young is an opportunity for them, right? So if you have missed it, yes, there's a good news of, that neuroplasticity ability of that child to actually learn that thing, right? It's going to help. There's the ability to rewire the brain to learn new things, just like as adults, where there are some things we didn't know in the past and we're trying to learn now, right? Your children will definitely have it too, but it is something that we can all testify to that is not easy. It's better for us to learn it when we are, children than learning it when we're adults, right? So creativity thrives when challenges are unusual. So you don't just want to be in that place where you're telling your child, oh yeah, draw this, okay. You're telling your child, okay, try as much as draw a house that is big enough for about 5 people to live. That is, it's not something that is, this might be usual. Or you want to say something like, okay, draw a house for a child who is allergic to noise or who is allergic to a particular type of thing, right? Let them be able to think beyond the mere things, the normal things, right? So creativity thrives when challenges are unusual, right? When they are unusual, your children can think outside the box. Like some people would say that you should destroy the box. There's no box, destroy the box. Let them think outside of the box, right? So they just say, let's act like there's no box. There's nothing limiting us so that children can actually explore. And the last point for today, we've already spent more than the time that we're supposed to spend, but then this is the last point. So you need to teach real life and financial skills. We spoke about real life skills. If you go through the whole of our sessions, it is something that we can actually, okay, Mrs. Rachel, thank you. Right. So you want to teach them money management. This is something that a lot of us do not know. You will see people when they go for NYSC, they will actually get money, they will get money, maybe because they're still being fed at home and all of those things. But then because they do not even know how to manage the money, they squander it. So start teaching your children early. It starts from where make a budget, make a list. I'm giving you 500 naira. How can you multiply this money? How can you do this? This is something that is very important. One thing that I have learned while working here is that there's usually this program that is held for children. It's called Bazaar, whereby children come with things that they want to sell and they sell and all of those things. But what amazes me about these children is that some things that they bring to sell, they actually make them. They're the one who makes all of these things. So you can actually buy handbands from them, the ones that are made with beads and all of those things. They will bring it, they will sell it, and they will make their money. So expose them to things like that very early, right? If they say that that adage is not something that is, it doesn't work. If you don't actually put your children in the place whereby they will not toshi, it's going to be generational. So we want to actually teach them the skills. It's not just about saying that Rometa and toshi. It's about giving children the skills that will not make the keta to toshi. Is there somebody who doesn't understand Yoruba? I don't think so. If you don't understand Yoruba, I'm sorry. We're just trying to say that equip your children with the skills that is necessary for them. Money management, budgeting, investments. It starts with the little things. If I give you 500 naira now, how can you make it 600? How can you make it 1,000? From discussions and all of those things. Children and all of those things. Teach responsibility, teach independence, right? What is the essence of certificate if your child don't know how to navigate life? What is the essence? A child who doesn't know how to make money will always be managed by money. I'll say that again. A child who doesn't know how to make money will always be managed by money. Teach skills and real life experiences. Teach your children value exchange, right? Teach them value exchange. If I give this, I can get this in return. If I do this, I can do this in return. Teach them to even teach the little things that they know, and they can actually get money from it. It is not haram to make money. It is not haram to make money. That topic is for another day. Teach your children value exchange. Model what you want to see. I've been shouting this one. A lot of the time, the problem we have when it comes to raising our children is that we place our children on the standard that we can't even get to. And that's just the truth. That standard is not something we can uphold for ourselves, but we want to uphold it for our children. How? When you try as much as possible to model what you want to see in your children, it's easier for your child to relate to it. If my mom can do this, if my dad can do this, it means that it's important. I should do it also. But then you don't want to model it. You just want to be in that place where you're giving command. Yeah, read your book. But your child has never seen you read. Your child has never seen you hold pencil and biro. Maybe when you just want to write the number, the money that you have made in the month. They have never seen you read. They don't see you accountable to anyone. They just see you live life like, how can they be accountable to you? How can they learn accountability? So this is something that's important. You want to model what you want to see in your children, right? Let your children see you read. Let them see you learn, right? Children don't need perfect parents. They need parents who are growing. And if you are not growing, you are dying. It's just like a plant. If a plant is not growing, that plant might be dying, because if that plant is not getting the necessary things for them to grow, they are dying. So if you are in the place where you were 2 months ago, 3 months ago, you're not reading, you're not updating your knowledge, you're not in any place of knowledge, you're dying. It's just simple. It's simple. Right. So let us try as much as possible to be in that place whereby we keep growing. It's not just about being perfect. It's about keep, growing, doing things better than you did it before. Right? Doing things better than you did it before. This is what means that, okay, yes, you are growing. Right? In conclusion, certificates are good, but that's not the ultimate. If all that you give your children are paper without principles, you're already failing. But the good news is that you can always retrace your steps. Raise children who can think, raise children who can feel, raise children who can honor people and who can relate. That's what the real deal is. Certificate can go missing. It can get burned. Yes. If there's a fire explosion, what happens? Right? It can even become outdated. Yes, they will tell you that this thing that you learned, it was in the past. It does not apply anymore. So it can go outdated in some context. But what your child becomes can't be taken away from them. And that's what truly matters. This is something that is very, very important, right? And we have come to the end of today's session. Please, I would like to tell us, for those that are here now, on Monday, inshallah, Monday 29th of this September, this coming Monday, we are launching our community. Kindly support us. Help us to share whatever it is that we're going to be sharing. Please start sharing it now. We are going to share. We're going to try as much as possible to share to various platforms that we have on our WhatsApp status, everywhere. Please kindly help us to reshare. Kindly support us on this. This is, this is us asking for help, right? Help us to reshare. Help us to engage on our social media platforms. This is something that is important. One thing about Mr. Mark Zuckerberg is that once we post content and people are not, engaging with it, it doesn't push it further to other people. And this is something that is usually painful. But then it is what it is. We'll keep trying, we'll keep striving. But this is us coming to say that, please, try to help us engage on our social media handles. If you see anything that has to do with the launch, please support us, engage, reshare, comment on our posts, and most importantly, the most important one, register to be a part of the community as soon as it launches. Register to be a pioneering member of this already thriving community, because yes, it's already thriving, inshallah, and come and be transformed. This is something that is important. You have been benefiting from our Friday lives. You have been benefiting, a lot of the time you come and say, oh yes, this was valuable. We're getting valuable. Please help us to reach more people, right? Take it a step further, right? And join the community. Announce this launch to other people. Let them also come and benefit from this. Thank you so much for coming to today's live. I'm so honored. I'm so excited that, you all came all out to listen to what I have to say. Thank you so much. See you again next week, inshallah, probably after the launch, or see you in that wait list. For those who have been on the wait list, yes, it has been quiet. It has been quiet because we're trying as much as possible to plan the launch and make it, something, a successful one, right? So inshallah, as soon as we finish the launch, as soon as we launch, we're going to definitely share things there that would, that will be beneficial, inshallah. But the most important thing is that we try as much as possible to be a part of this community. Like I always say, whatever it is that you're going to be getting from this community is nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing compared. For those who have paid for our, for our paid sessions, this is something you can relate to. You will get value. And when I say value, it's not just value that transforms, right? This is taking that value to the next level, inshallah. So please come and be a part of this. See you again next week, Friday, inshallah. Thank you so much for coming. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.